Hello everyone, welcome to Moe'S CD Culture Show and Tell, and on this episode I'm revisiting a band that when I first recorded it, it was the second video on my Moe'S CD Culture Show and Tell. I know I had said in my Suzanne Vega that was the second video, but actually that was the third video. This is the actual second video that I had made. Now, I'm redoing it because, as you may or may not know, it was in poor quality. I didn't have my new camera. I didn't have my microphone. My presentation wasn't that great. So I'm redoing it in case, anybody's interested in it. And I think you should really check this one out, because what I'm presenting today is the remastered Doors collection that I have. But first, I want to give just a little side note. I know I shouldn't be doing these on this channel, but I wanted to make just a tiny announcement that I will be actually, due to some requests of my newer subscribers, which are awesome, by the way. I want to stress that out always, that how awesome they are. That they want to see me do some other kind of videos, they want me to do some DVD reviews. I will be doing reviews of some of my some movies that I own. I'm missing so many, so what I do present to you will be special. And I have done a couple of DVD reviews before, but they haven't done very well on this channel, so I was kind of reluctant to kind of do them. But I was requested that, and I will be getting to that very soon. You can bet on that. And other little things that they had requested. I will do my best to do what I can. And I really do want to give a shout out that I don't do quite often enough. It is to Frank's Music here in Moncton, off of Carson, right by that cool, right by where Cineplex is and everything, right next door to Montana's, and they're in the building of the Long and McQuaid building, where they teach music, and they have a cool music store where they sell all kinds of instruments and everything. You can go and take some music lessons there and everything, and they have a little CD and an LP shop there. Go in, talk to Carl Barter. He'll fix you up. He's an awesome guy, and I haven't given enough shout outs to his store, because that's where I go and get all my CDs and when I can. I like to support the little guy instead of the bigger chains, because it's just better that way. I want to make sure that the artist actually gets the money for their efforts. Now, having said that, let's get into it. Now, I'm going to present the first one here, which is the self-titled debut. I'll go through the track list, but I'm not going to talk about the bonus tracks, because if you want to know more about the bonus tracks, you can go in and buy these, and I would suggest buying these, because these are the remasters, and the sound quality is so much better. But besides that, it's more than just that. Is that they added things. When you hear the original recordings before they remastered it, there was so much. In all 6 of the CDs I'm going to show you, there was so much that they left out of the mix. They added extra little sounds here and there, extra little guitar parts, little things that you hear Jim Morrison in the background saying different things, and it's awesome. They put in all the not swearing, but they put in all the things that they had kind of. It was a more friendlier version. This is the version you should be listening to now. I remember the first time hearing these remasters, it was like listening to it for the first time again. Although it was sounded familiar, I was hearing so much more that it's crazy. It was such a great experience. I didn't know what to expect. Even when they're fading out at the end of the track, you're hearing little things that it just makes it so much more special. I like albums that have a bit of a messiness to it, if you know what I mean, rather than being all auto-tuned and polished. Sometimes you miss the nuances of what makes it special. All those little tiny mistakes. For example, when the drummer drums, sometimes they're not always on the RPM. Sometimes the beats per minute. You know what I mean. Sometimes that will kind of change a little bit depending on the drummer. So it makes it more special, and like I was saying, with these remastered, yeah, you're getting the better quality. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing. There's just one little sentence I want to read because it really iterates how this is awesome. It says here that all the extant video and audio tape live performances of the Doors performing Light My Fire, for example, the sheet music to the song, and the statements of band members showed that the song on the single as being in a key almost a full half step higher than the LP issue and CD reissues. The 45 RPM issue was at the real pitch. For example, the verse chord should be an alternation between A minor and F sharp minor, but on the LP and CD releases, the chords are A flat minor and F minor. Although both about 20 cents sharp, it also seems that the LP version was originally intended to be at the original pitch. When one increases the speed of the LP version to get the true chords, the total time is 6:50 as stated on the record cover, as opposed to the 7 minutes and 5 seconds as issued on the vinyl and CD. Meaning that now with this, you're actually getting it at the true pitch, the real pitch as was intended to be in the first place. I think that's fascinating. So let's go to the track list. And of course, it's Break On Through, Soul Kitchen, which is great. The Crystal Ship, 20th Century Fox, Alabama Song, Light My Fire, Backdoor Man, I Looked at You, End of the Night, Take It As It Comes, and The End. And The End is like 11 minutes long. It's a pretty long song. Like I said, I'm not going to go through the bonus tracks. This is an awesome album for a debut album. I am a big fan of the Doors, of course, and can't really pick out my favorite song. If I say it's Light My Fire, it's because it's probably the most popular track on here. But the whole thing is pretty good. I love Jim Morrison's voice. I love his antics. Crazy guy. But a brilliant poet and singer. So I'm not going to be dwelling too long on this. I'm just going to continue to get to the next one. The next one is People Are Strange, and this has strange. Strange. Is it called? Oh, sorry, not called People Are Strange. It's called Strange Days. Sorry about that. Now, Strange Days is the first track. Lost Little Girl, Love Me 2 Times, Unhappy Girl, Horse Latitude, Moonlight Drive, People Are Strange, which I love that song. My eyes have seen you, sorry. I Can See Your Face in My Mind, and When the Music's Over. And there's a couple, well, the couple of bonus tracks is People Are Strange and Love Me Two Times. There's a different take and everything. And again, like I said, all of these CDs are there's so much more to it to hear. Now we're going to get to Waiting for the Sun, which is, again, when I can't really pick out what my favorite songs are on each album, because they're multiple and they interchange. If something really jumps out at me as being extraordinary, I will note it, of course. But this starts with Hello, I Love You, Love Street, Not to Touch the Earth, Summer's Almost Gone, Wintertime Love, The Unknown Soldier, Spanish Caravan, My Wild Love, We Could Be So Good Together, Yes, The River Knows, and 5-1. And I actually love 5-1. That's probably one of my favorite songs on here. Like I said, I don't want to dwell too long on each album. I'm just here trying to present it again because I want to redo them, since my first video I did was not all that well done. Now, the Soft Parade. There is a song coming up that is probably, in some ways, one of my favorite. Weirdly, it's probably one of my favorite Doors songs of all time. You have the epic songs, of course, but this one here is a little under the radar, and I like it for its jauntiness. I think it's on this. We'll get to it when it comes here. So it starts off with Tell the People, Touch Me, Shaman Blues, Do It, Easy Ride, Wild Child, Running Blue, Wishful Sinful, The Soft Parade, and there's some bonus tracks, like there's Who Scared You, which is different. Like the other ones, I didn't go through the bonus tracks because they're pretty much just different versions of the same of the songs that are on the album and such. But when there's different stuff on the tracks, like there's a Whiskey, Mystics, and Men. There's another version of Whiskey, Mystics, and Men. Push Push, and then there's a couple of different versions of Touch Me. No, it's actually not on this album. I think it might be on the next album, which is Morrison Hotel, and of course, you know, Morris, my name, is in there. So, oh yes, here it comes. It's up in this one. There's Roadhouse Blues, which is always a good one. I love the cover when people cover that song. And there's Waiting for the Sun, You Make Me Real, and then here's my favorite song of the Doors. It's Peace Frog. Peace Frog is probably my favorite Doors song because it's so jaunty and so. I love the guitar work in it. I like the lyrics. I love the way Jim Morrison sings it. It's strange how that one there just kind of popped out as being my favorite song. It wasn't for the longest time. I always loved the more mainstream ones, but that one there, Peace Frog, yeah, I love that song for some reason. There's Blue Sunday, Ship of Fools, Land Ho, The Spy, Queen of the Highway, Indian Summer, and Maggie McGee. And there's a bonus track called Talking Blues. There's a few different versions of Roadhouse Blues. There's a song called Carol, and there's another song called Money Beats Soul, which is awesome. There's a cool different version with false starts and dialogues of Peace Frog, another version of The Spy, and so on. So yeah, it's a really good album. Of course, I love them all pretty equally. There's not one of the albums that stands out more than the others for me. I love them for all different reasons. I cannot pick a favorite Doors album. Go figure. Because they're all great in their own way. And then the last one here, there's The Changeling, Love Her Madly, Been Down So Long, Cars Hiss By My Window, LA Woman, L'America, with an L apostrophe America, La America, which is interesting, cool. Hyacinth's House, Crawling King Snake, which is cool. The Wasp, Texas Radio, and The Big Beat, and Riders on the Storm. And I really do actually love Riders on the Storm. But there's a couple of bonus tracks too. One's called Orange County Suite, and You Need Meat, Don't Go No Further, which is interesting. So I'll point out the extra songs if there is. So that goes through the Doors catalog. I can't stress enough how I love the remasters, because they're, like I said, they're so much better than what I originally was hearing growing up. The radio versions always had that missing. It was missing things. So you need the complete collection, to really appreciate. And if you haven't heard these in a long while, please go and pick these up and put a good pair of earphones on. Just this weekend, side note, just this weekend, and I listened to actually a couple of those this weekend, because I picked up a new pair of earphones. Now, these are only $25 at Walmart, but they're Sony's. The bass on it sounds rich and deep. The clarity are just fantastic. I've been listening to some Sparks with this too, and so awesome. So before this video gets too long, I'm gonna just leave you right here. Like I said, I'm gonna be doing some other kind of videos. I want to do some DVDs, so look forward to that very soon. And I'm going to be giving you some more Moe stories, and I want to try to do a tool talk very soon. So, everybody, please take care, be safe, have a good evening, day, evening, night, wherever you may be. I will see you on the flip side, and have a good one, everybody. Peace.